Hey guys, I know you're probably watching this right now and thinking, where's Miss Garrett? Well, if you were in 6th period with Miss Destiny, yes, she was right. It is. It is. That's all I'll say. Everybody else, please remember that I am giving out prizes for the best behaved class. So definitely do your best and be the best class. Hopefully everybody brought headphones. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm also going to go ahead and give y'all some examples on what I'm talking about. You do not have to write down the examples. Just know that I am giving them to you to kind of help you out. I'm also changing some colors around here. All right, so the first one. When you subtract a positive number, so if I go 4 minus 3, that obviously equals 1, right? So if I'm here at 0, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to subtract 3. So I'm going to go back to the left. 1, 2, 3. And I end up here at 1 because I went to the left 3. So that means what I'm doing whenever I subtract a positive number is I'm moving to the left on a number line. And I want you to go ahead and cross that word off because you basically are never ever going to use it ever again. Therefore, the difference will be less than the number you started with. When you subtract a negative number, so let's look at this. So if I do 4 minus a negative 3, oh, check this out. If you remember correctly, we talked about negatives being the opposite. So what is then the opposite of a negative? But a positive. So we're going to do 4 plus 3, which is 7. So, therefore, when we subtract a negative, if I'm doing this here, and I'm at 4, so remember I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm doing the negative, I would go this way, right? But I'm doing the opposite direction. So I'm going to keep going to the right, 1, 2, 3, which is how I end up with 7. So basically, because negatives are opposites, whenever I'm doing subtracting a negative, I'm moving the opposite direction as if I was subtracting a positive number. So whenever I subtract a negative, I do the opposite. That means I'm actually moving to the right. That means the difference there, if you don't believe it or not, is actually greater. So remember, we've got our opposite of a negative is positive, so 4 plus 3. 7 is definitely bigger than what we started with. So in conclusion, when we add a negative number, we move to the left. When we add a positive, we move to the right. Remember, these are opposites. Opposite of each other. All right. So remember, subtracting a number is the same as adding a negative. Or also known as the opposite. So, because sometimes, guys, the reason why I'm going to go ahead and actually have y'all just go ahead and put opposite is because if I'm subtracting a number, whether it be a negative or a positive, what that means is I'm going to erase all this so that way y'all can see what I'm talking about. Good if I could erase faster, huh? What this means is when I am adding an opposite, so like if I'm doing 4 minus 3, that's the same thing as 4 plus a negative 3. if I have 4 minus a negative 3, I do the opposite. So I'm adding the opposite. There is videos in Google Classroom. They actually went live Wednesday evening, mostly because I want to make sure you guys are safe. Not really safe, but good on what you're talking about. All right. So let's go ahead and work on some of these examples, because some of this I'm pretty sure you're like, wait, what? And that's okay, guys. Follow along with me here. So if I have 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this negative 5. So if y'all remember, we did 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, our number that's first goes first. And then when I'm subtracting 5, it's like I'm adding the negative. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my 5s. Now, this is just like when we crossed them off. It's like when we shot each other. So I'm left with my answer of negative 2. Another way to think about this is what I could do is I can actually take my larger looking number over top of my other number. I keep the signs the same. So I'm going to highlight this that way you can see what I'm talking about. I keep my signs the same. That means that 5 that's negative still stays negative. Now, because these are different signs, I'm going to subtract the 2 and then take the sign of the one that looks the biggest, which in this case is 5. I still get the same answer, and I don't necessarily have to draw a model. If you guys love the models, then use it. All right, let's do this one. So we have negative 4 minus negative 3. So I'm going to take the opposite of the negative, which is a positive, so I'm going to rewrite it. You can also do this on a number line. So if I'm at 0, I'm going to move first 1, 2, 3, 4, because I'm trying to write a 3 here. And then I'm going to move back to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. So my answer then equals negative 1. Yet again, I'm going to do the same thing I just did a minute ago. Negative 4 plus 3. I subtract the 2. It's 1. I take the sign of the larger looking number. My answer is still the exact same. This one, I'm going to take the opposite of the negative. I'm going to rewrite it. 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. Same thing here. I'm going to put a plus sign in the middle. So when I'm subtracting, I'm adding the opposite. So negative 3 plus opposite of positive 9 is negative 9. Now on this one, guys, it's like I borrowed $3. And then I came back and I borrowed $9. So when the signs are the same, and what I mean by that is, my signs here are the exact same. When they're the exact same, I keep my sign the same and add them together. So in all reality, I borrowed $12. Try the quick check, pause this video. All right, I'm going to hope you paused. We're going to rewrite this. Negative 4. I'm going to add the opposite of a positive 15, because remember, that's a subtraction. So I add the opposite of a positive is a negative. So I've got negative 15. So because the signs are the same, I'm going to keep them together, and then I'm going to add them together, which becomes 49. Opposite of a negative, that's positive, so negative 48 plus 61. So I'm going to put my positive 61, and then I'm subtract 48. Hey, look, this negative sign, subtraction sign, same thing. That's why I keep telling y'all, you've been doing this for years. You just didn't know it. 5 minus 4 is 1. 11 minus 8 is 3. Because 61 is my larger looking number, it's also my bigger number, my answer stays 13. Alright, if y'all have questions, definitely watch the videos that I put up there. And feel free to come into tutorials Monday morning. I will see y'all when I come back on Monday, and I will tell you why I was out. Alright, hope y'all are having a good day. Alright, bye.